Good morning, friends, followers, subscribers, my army of Trevor and cultists, and especially those on Instagram. Thank you very much for watching my daily rants. Yes, it's Sunday, the Lord's Day, the day of rest, isn't it? Yes. Yes, I haven't done a rant for 2 days, and that's because, you know what, I was just enjoying time with family and friends. And I had a lie-in, and I just did things around the house, and I enjoyed it. But thanks for your support. I do appreciate it. Yes, I've been watching what's going on. It's amazing, isn't it? Now, yes, I think it's quite well known that I used to do a lot for veterans. It's quite strange to watch a group of about 4 or 5 people pretending that they care about veterans, who have raised no money to help veterans, have never offered any advice or help, they aren't affiliated to any charities, and they add no value. Especially one that just drives around in a taxi, an overweight man in a taxi, who adds no value to life itself. If anything, he's taking away oxygen from other people that need it. Right, so I will mention this because I've been told a couple of times, why don't you tell me what you did in the past? Well, do you know what? Honestly, when I left the military in 2015, I was disillusioned with the whole system. Disillusioned with the care that was happening with mental health, and I tried to create change. I used the military cross to open a few doors at the MOD. I got sit-down meetings with General, the Chief of Defence Staff. I spoke to General Richard Newgate. I went and spoke to Amory Trevelyan, who worked at the MOD. And I spoke to different politicians, and I got things. I was actually part of the very first ever veteran strategy debate in the House of Commons. I was invited as a guest of Sir Michael Fallon, who was the old Defence Secretary. I also then raised thousands of pounds for charities, which was checked by the police in 2019, and every penny was accounted for, including the watch, including the van. It was all accounted for. Now, I do get messages to me, have you seen what they're saying? And I don't care. I mean, because I am fully aware that the law will catch up with people. Now, reference to Bremont watch that I was supposed to have raised, here's what happened. I did get a Bremont Endurance wristwatch. It cost a couple of £1,000. I raised over 10 grand for that watch. It covered the cost of the watch, and the rest went to charity. Now, whenever you're reading things online saying it was won by somebody that worked with Trevor's Petition, that's a lie. In fact, if you want to get the truth, I would suggest you go through old archives and look at it. I travelled to London to a place called Battersea, and I met up with British explorer Levison Wood, and we had a coffee. During the coffee, I said, because we had organised it, I got out all the raffle tickets, and Levison Wood picked a random ticket and read it out. And it was filmed and live streamed actually on Twitter at the time. So there we go. So there's loads of things I did. I did a petition which was put into law. It got passed in the House of Commons and the House of Lords. And yeah, petition to basically help the Armed Forces Covenant, okay? Bring it into law. So I did that as well. I used to enjoy it. I used to enjoy it, honestly. I was a patron for Veterans in Action. I was an ambassador for PTSD. I did loads of things. Right now, I don't do anything. I do not. Because it's a bit of a stain, isn't it, when people start to say things about you. So I stopped doing it. But what I'm enjoying right now is watching the continued assaults on my character, because it just adds and adds and adds, and people don't realise it. People don't realise what's going on here. They just think, oh, Trevor this, Trevor that. Now, I have loads of support, and I thank you for it. But I will point out that a crime has been committed against me and a few others. And the individuals behind those anonymous accounts on the platform X will go to jail. Their sentence depends on what they keep posting. Their sentence depends on the damage they've caused, which is quite considerable, if I'm honest. So I just laugh it off now. I just laugh it off, and I let the police do it. I've had loads of correspondence. It doesn't matter how many times you... And the weird thing is, whenever you're breaking the law and you're so mentally broken, you don't know. So you keep tweeting about me, and you keep adding the police into your conversation. They know what's being said. Your private messages on Twitter have got IP addresses going all to... I know what's happening. Anyway, I look forward to doing a live. I've actually got a great journalist lined up for when this is put to bed and we get charges brought in. and name and shame all the assholes that sent private messages to the anonymous trolling accounts that thought they were anonymous, but every tweet you send, every post you do has an IP address. Whether you have a VPN or not, the VPNs all come from companies. Right? You've had to give your name and address in to the company you got the VPN from to get a VPN. So everything is documented. Anyway, what else is happening? There is a hit show at the minute on Netflix called Baby Reindeer. A story about a stalker that goes to jail in the end. Yes. Anyway, go and watch Baby Reindeer. You'll be shocked about what's happening there. Wow. Crazy, isn't it? What else have I got here? Britain's Got Talent. Simon Cowell's baby, Britain's Got Talent. If you aren't aware, Ofcom have been informed of thousands of complaints, as 3 acts from Japan have travelled from Japan to Britain's Got Talent. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Britain's Got Talent, not International Got Talent, certainly not Japanese Got Talent. We need to stop letting other countries come in. But you know what? It's all about clicks. It's all about viewing in it for Simon. He doesn't need the money. So why is he letting it happen? I think Ofcom should investigate it and put a stop to it. Just my opinion, people. Just my opinion. Yes. And the NHS, finally, the National Health Service have got direction from ministers. Ministers are bringing in a new law for the NHS where trans women will not be allowed to share the same wards as women. That is being put to an end. And women will now be allowed to say, I want to see a female doctor. And they'll have to be given one. I think they should have had that from day one, but there we go. We went so far, we went so far to a wrong destination that coming back seems like the toughest journey ever, isn't it? Just to get things normal again. But there we go. And I mentioned this a few days ago. Here's a story coming out now, which I mentioned a few days ago about the Conservative Party. Now, we know now that the Reform under Richard Tice is doing quite well in the polls at the minute. It's going to get a couple, it's got its first MP. It's going to gain a couple of MPs, right? Which is better than what UKIP ever did. But it's going to gain MPs. So how did the Tory party fight back against Reform and Labour? Because the Tory party have messed up the country. They really have destroyed everything. But how do they get it back? Now, there was rumour a while ago that the Tories were trying to poach Nigel Farage and get him to come up. And I said, and I mark my words, there's no way they'll get Nigel. They'll have to offer him something. They'll probably offer him a knighthood, Sir Nigel Farage. And they'll say it's what he did during Brexit. Because they ignored him, didn't they? They give all that, they give all the thanks for Brexit, they give it to Boris, didn't they? Well, the Tories are now offering Nigel Farage a knighthood, a peerage, if he helps them in the next election. Never thought that would happen, eh? But there we go. Nigel, who's built his career off quite a few things, we'll see. Does he deserve a knighthood? I think he does, actually. My personal opinion is I believe Nigel Farage does deserve a knighthood. But because he upset so many gravy chains in the EU, they always put him away. They sort of disparage him. They put him away, but they're now having to face it, aren't they? Yeah. And it seems that the president, Europe are trying to copy the Rwanda program we have in the UK, where we're sending migrants and asylums to Rwanda. Europe who tried to destroy us and say, no, it's wrong. And Macron, who said, you know, we were going against European values, which I don't think there is such a thing as European values. European values, show the flag, surrender, give up. It's always been like that, isn't it? It's the rest of the world have to rescue them. But, yeah, even the European president has said, the Rwanda deal, it sounds great. That's his words. It sounds great. Which means they're all starting to understand that our countries and our values and our cultures are all in the gutter right now because of what, well, because of what the German Chancellor did, Merkel, quite a few years ago when she was pulling the puppet strings of Europe. Yeah, so it's all falling apart, isn't it? Good old Britain, stick by the rules. Oh well, yeah. Well, listen, people, thanks for your support. Thanks for the emails. Thanks to all the views out there that have helped me massively with putting together files and sending files to me with photographs and screenshots and videos. It's been amazing, and your work will not be wasted. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day, people. It's Sunday. Stay safe.